What I want to do is set up the pan. I'm going to set up the walk across the stage here, or across the stage, across the background um, with my character, and then I'm going to bring it into a different composition and set up the 3D levels to it. So what I want to do is I have this one composition of the wolf pan background that I brought in, and then I brought in my character. I set up its frame rate, and I have it looping a number of times. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to bring this character, and I'm going to, in my case, my midground is the character is going to be aligned with my midground. So I'm going to put that character, I dragged it and dropped it in here right above my midground. And, all right, I know what I did. I saved them as JPEGs instead of PNGs. So I have the white on here, so this is going to be, I have to change this. Hit position. So I have the position of my character. He's hidden behind these trees. I want to take him and move it over. Now, what I needed to do is save it off as each layer as a PSD or a PNG when I took it out of Photoshop. That's why when I made it a JPEG again, it automatically puts that white on there, so it defeats the purpose of what we did. Sometimes you remember these things sometimes. So with different characters, you may want to scale it and get it in position where you want it to be. I'm going to show us the workaround here. So I did say you didn't have to take out the white. I really wish you will. And I'll show us how to do that. I'll have to re-record that. I'm going to turn off the trees because they're in the foreground. I don't need those right now. I'm going to turn off the wolf. I don't need to see the wolf. I just want to kind of position and scale my character. I want to position it all the way to the left side of my background because it's going to move from the left to the right. So I want to get it over here as far as I can. I'm going to turn on this screen, and I'm going to put in a position for this. This is kind of going to be this red box is what my camera is going to see when I'm all finished. So I'm kind of going to frame that here. If that's there, and then I can help me position my character. Remember the rule of thirds, so I want him kind of in the back third of this as he's going forward there. Now, the character's white. I can't see through the background. There is a workaround that we could do. It's not the best solution. The best solution would be to save them off as PSDs or PNGs with the transparency and the opaque character. But we could do it this way as a test. Is we have this thing called modes in After Effects. We have a column that are called modes, M-O-D-E, modes. And if it's not showing up, down here in the lower left, you have expander, collapse, and transfer controls pane. So if I click it, they go away. I click that, and there's 3 buttons down here. It's the center of the 3 buttons. I click that button again, they show up. So my modes column shows up that way. So I want to go to the Angry Animator layer, and I'm going to switch that mode to multiply. And when I do that, I can see through the white. The bad part about that is now my character is transparent also. So we wanted our character to be opaque and the rest of the background to be transparent. But we can work with it. So we're going to, before going backwards right now, we're going to work with this. So I want to position my character where I want him in the background. I'm using my position. This is my X position, and my Y is my up and down. Looks pretty good there. So I'm getting my start position set, and then the character's going to move. I'm going to roll out of here and see my whole background. Yep, I can see the whole thing now. He's going to move from here to there across my background. And when I do this, I want to make sure that the feet don't slide. But that's going to take a couple of tries after moving it and getting it set. So once I get this first position set, and I have where I want it to start, I'm going to click on my stopwatch and create my first keyframe. And that put in a keyframe right here. Now my composition is set up for 5 seconds. So I'm going to, and that's all yours needs to be. So I want to come down to the end of my composition. So I want to go to the last frame. And if you have a N key on your keyboard, you could hit the N key. I'm going to hit the function right arrow on the Mac. And that brings my timeline indicator to the end of my composition here. With that there, I want to move my character as far to the right as I can. And this part is going to be a little bit of a guess. We're going to have to do some testing. But to do it, my character layer is selected. I have this finger as I roll over the X-axis here. You get those double-sided arrows in the finger. And I'm going to hold my shift key so when I roll over there, it goes in bigger distances, 10 frames at a time. So as I roll it, I'm rolling the character in a straight line to the end here. And I'll go to about there and see how that looks. So now what I want to check is how the feet are planting as it goes through the scene. I want the feet to feel like they're staying in the same spot and the character is advancing forward. So what I'll do is come back to frame 1. And now that I have 2 keyframes, by setting that stopwatch, by putting the first keyframe, once I moved it, it automatically put in a second keyframe. So that's all I need is 2 keyframes. And what I want to do is just kind of compare what the feet are doing. So I have the J and the K keyboard shortcuts. So I hit the J shortcut, pops me back to the first keyframe. It moves to the next keyframe to the left, and I hit the K shortcut, the letter K. It brings me to the keyframe to the right. So I'm going to come back to the keyframe to the left by hitting J, and I'll zoom up on this a little bit, pan over so I can see what these feet are doing. And as I step through this, I'm going to page down. So the foot goes there. And things I'm looking for is where that heel is. There's some background elements. This little pebbles in the middle of the foot. There, as I step through, I want to see what the feet are doing. And they look like they're sliding forward a little bit. See that heel slides forward. So put this heel down, it steps, it slides forward too. So that's saying I'm going too great of a distance on my last keyframe. It's sliding to catch up to that further distance. So what I want to do is go, and this is important, that you go to your N keyframe. So by hitting the letter K, I'm going back to that N keyframe. I'm going to zoom out. Pan over here. And what I'm going to do is walk my character back to the left a little bit because the feet were sliding forward. They're trying to go a greater distance in the amount of time that I have the character walking. You know, this part becomes a little bit of a guess. So what I'm going to do is hold my my page up and down with my shift key, and I'm going to move them back. I'll go 1. Oh, wrong button. Command Z on that. Help it. Nope. Yeah, you gotta do redo, edit redo. You change the value. Okay, so I'm here. I hit the wrong one on here. I'm gonna page up, and I'm gonna not function. I just need to shift. I was hitting the function key. I was doing my keys. So I just need to use my arrow key, my left arrow key, and I'm gonna back it up, or I could do the position here. What I started to do there is that my arrow keys, I can hold the shift and my left arrow key and back it up 1, 2 steps and see what that looks like. So now I did those 2 steps. Now I come back to the first one, zoom up on it, and kind of watch it. Now I'm going to page down. Zoom up a little bit more so I can really see what those feet are doing. It takes a little bit to get this part to work. Still sliding a little bit forward. If you look at that heel between those two drawings, see the heel slide forward a little? Okay, save early, save often. It's pretty close, but it's still sliding forward. So what I want to do is when they plant that, I'm going to zoom out. And over. Go to that last keyframe by hitting K. And I'm going to hold my shift key, left arrow, and step back one time this time. Hit J, come back to that first keyframe, zoom up on it. And I'm going to page down. Let's maybe zoom up one more click. Still going forward a little bit. So, and I'm looking here to where it's lined up with these pebbles. And see it slides a little bit on that. So I've got to go back a few more clicks. Like I said, this part takes a little bit. But once you get it, it was working good. So what I'm going to do is stop this.